Well, good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here. I'm Shelley Gregory with Forge. My pronouns are they, them, or any pronoun. And we're gathering tonight to talk about planning your vote in Wisconsin for the November 2020 election. Tonight's session is part of an ongoing series of online programming that Forge has been offering in partnership with Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin. The session tonight, the series, in fact, is funded in part by the Advancing a Healthier Wisconsin Endowment at Medical College of Wisconsin, and we're very thankful for that support. A few items tonight as we get going. One, the session is being recorded and eventually will be on our YouTube channel, if not forever, for a long time to refer back to. We also have ASL interpreters with us tonight, both our wonderful interpreter Jill and our other wonderful interpreter Derek. And if you'd like to pin their screens to your window so that you can see them throughout the presentation, you can go ahead and do that. So today we'll be, I think, in presentation mode, meaning that I will be doing some talking and we'll be looking at my screen. If you have questions or comments, I'd love to hear them. And you can go ahead and enter those in the chat box. If you'd like to speak, let us know and we'll see if we can unmute you either during the presentation or at the end of the presentation if you'd like to ask your question verbally. So the purpose of our session tonight is to talk about how to plan for the November 2020 election that's coming up as trans and non-binary voters. We'll talk about making some plans. We'll talk about deadlines that are coming up. And then we'll take a look at a couple of websites that are really excellent tools and resources for finding every bit of information you could possibly need about voting, and then also for registering and requesting absentee ballots. And then we'll talk about some issues that may be particular to trans and non-binary voters, particularly including Wisconsin's voter ID law and what those requirements are, and some tips for dealing with any potential challenges we might encounter at the polls. We'll also talk about some other circumstances folks may encounter, how to get help with those, and we'll offer a number of resources about how to get help preparing for the election and where to get help, more importantly on election day, if you need help while you're at your polling site. Perfect timing. We were just getting started, and before we do that, I'd love to hear from you a little bit. So everyone, for those of you who don't know, this is Wendy Strout, who is the, is it statewide director? Is that your title, Wendy?
Well, I'm the state director, yep.
Wisconsin State Director for the Human Rights Campaign. So Wendy, appreciate you being here tonight, and wonder if you just want to share with us a little about what HRC is doing in Wisconsin leading up to the election and how folks can get involved if they'd like to.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited to be on. Thank you for the invitation, Shelley. I'm a big fan of Forge. And so a couple of things I just wanted to talk about. I am personally like super excited about this election because the big thing at stake federally is the Equality Act. And if you don't know what the Equality Act is, it basically, the way we describe it the best way is because, you know, Wisconsin, I mean, the United States is a hodgepodge of non-discrimination laws. And so like in Wisconsin, we do not have expanded protections for gender identity. But if you drive through Illinois, you got great protections. They really protect the gender identity. And you can continue on the way to DC, and that would change multiple states. So the Equality Act would basically make these states all equal. So you could drive across the country and you would have the same rights across the country. And, you know, also it would also strengthen, the Equality Act would strengthen civil rights laws. And it is we worked on it really hard last year. The House passed it. And if other states do their job and they flip the Senate, and then we elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, the most pro-equality administration we would ever have, they have committed on the first 100 days to sign the Equality Act into law. And that gets me excited because it drives me nuts, the differences between the different laws. So, you know, that's one of the big things that we're working on, and we're continuing to work on that. The other thing is in Wisconsin, our states are, we're within 3 seats of being flipped in the Senate and the House. If those flip to the extreme conservatism, then the governor's veto can be overturned. And then the big fear is that then they would come after the LGBTQ community. So all these laws that we've seen in other states, like the bathroom law and other discrimination laws, we would have to really gear up for those. So, but the great thing is, like, not really to like bring you down, because I'm super excited about the Equality Act. Not to bring you down, but we're really working hard to make sure that Wisconsin is moving forward for equality. And the big things that we're doing are making sure that, you know, we're contacting voters across the state, equality voters, people who have been ID'd as people who care about equality, who care about the LGBTQ community, and we're reminding them to send in their ballot. We're helping them make sure they vote, make sure they can get their ballot into the drop boxes. We're making sure that they know where their early voting locations are, making sure they're voting safely with a mask and staying 6 feet apart, because the most important thing to us is that our community is voting safely. And so we have volunteer opportunities. And if you don't mind, Shelley, if I throw in our link, if people want to, because we have something going on every night of the week. We have phone banks. We have, let me just make sure. We have phone banks going on. We have text banking. We have so much that we're doing, and I have a really fun team, and they keep it interesting. On Sunday, we're actually doing the Story Slam, where people are sharing their coming out stories, because it's coming out day, or National Coming Out Day. So we're actually doing a Story Slam, and that's in the links as well that I just sent. So we're doing everything that we can to move equality forward. I know I've been working with Shelley to really make sure that the transgender community and non-binary community is able to vote safely. So whatever we can do at HRC to help make that happen as well. We just want to make sure our community gets out and vote, because we say this every election, that this really is the election of our lifetime. So anything that you all can do, the big thing is just vote, and bring your family and friends to go vote too.
Yeah.
Are there any questions?
Yeah, thanks, Wendy. Well, and we've got quite a few community members on the ballot in Wisconsin this year, which is really exciting. Yes.
And just kind of like right next door to Milwaukee is Jessica Kansemeyer, who, if elected, she will be the first transgender person serving on the state legislature. Yeah. It's pretty amazing. Representation matters. Yeah, representation matters.
Absolutely. Well, Wendy, I know that you have multiple engagements tonight, so I want to thank you a lot for stopping by and sharing about what HRC is doing and how folks can get involved, and looking forward to the Story Slam on Sunday.
Yes, it's going to be fun. And thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited. I'm always happy to come back, and let's win this thing so then we can talk about, like, what can we do? Like, let's we can start lobbying for the Equality Act, because let me tell you, that's going to change lives. I'm super excited about that. That's my big thing. So but thank you, everyone. You have a great meeting, and I'm sorry I have to go, but I'm like in the midst of 3 or 4 meetings. So thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thanks, Wendy, and thanks for all that you do. You've been a great partner for Forge and the trans community these past several years. So thanks a lot.
Happy to do it. Thank you so much. It's an honor.
All right. Take care. All right. Awesome. All right, well, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen again, if I can manage to do that. And we'll pick up where we left off. So Wendy and her team in Wisconsin really are doing a lot of get out the vote effort, and a lot of volunteer work to help folks vote. And that's what we're here to talk about tonight as well.